Hi, welcome back to LP Music. I'm Marty. Hope you have a good day. Today I pulled up an older session on my mixing board because I wanted to show you my approach on mixing violins, and it's always a little bit tricky because you don't want to use really compression on it and just use a little bit of automation to make it more pleasing to the ear. So let's get it on.
Oh, it's a deep one. Hey, it's a deep one. I knew it from the start.
As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 violins here. The first two are kind of a background violins, left and right side. And the other 2, 3 and 4, are playing kind of a melody, and they are alternating each other. So let's just listen to it for a while. Okay, so let's just grab here the first one, and I have a little compression going on just to tame the really high peaks here, and you will see they're just barely moving. Okay, maximum to -3, and I also just used it to get a certain kind of tone with the LA2 way here, and that's basically it. I have it on all other violins, the same compression, doing nothing at all, and then I added just 2 EQs, 1 for tone and 2 to get a little bit to add a little bit of air, and finally tape compression, or let's say tape saturation, because tape is also barely moving here and have a saturation going on with 1, and so that's fairly low. And the main part I want to show before we go to the EQ is the automation. In Logic you have this knob here. If you click on it, you get to the automation mode, and what it does is, the first thing you see when it turns on the knob is a yellow line at 0 dB. Okay? And what you can do with this automation is to lower or higher the volume of the track itself. And when you click here on the right mode and volume is selected here, you can basically dial with the mouse in some automation by just clicking on the line, make another point, and then make 2 another points where you want to end the automation. And what you can do now is to rise or lower the automation, so it gets quieter or it gets louder. So for example, let's overemphasize everything here and pull that down pretty drastically, and pull up here, for example, the automation pretty high, like that, just to hear the difference what we are doing here. And one really important point is to get out of the right mode and go back to the read or the touch mode. What this does is, if you are in the right mode and you play the song back, everything gets back to 0, all the automations you did beforehand. So pretty important, back to read. So let's just listen to the one violin here, bring it back up into the middle. It's pretty low, and back up, and louder. You can also see it here on the volume fader. Okay, and that's basically automation, and I did it here on pretty much every track. On the background tracks itself, not so much. So let's get just back here with the animation we had before. And as you can see here on the violin number 3, it goes up and down and up and down, and this is kind of the melody that's alternating with the other instrument here. So let's just play the 3rd and 4th.
Everything is fun to play.
Oops. Goes up and back down. And we're up, slowly down. Now comes the other one up. And down. Okay, and that goes on to the whole song. And the idea behind that is the artist herself played it very good. She played it very dynamical, which we wanted to have here on this certain kind of track. And to emphasize her playing, we added automation to get the details a little bit more clear and to get a little bit more dynamic range in the whole song. And for example, orchestral songs itself, where you have huge orchestra, they are pretty much non-compressed. And this is what I and the artist wanted to achieve here with the song, to get a very uncompressed version of the song that's very pleasing to the ear, and yeah, that's basically it. And now to the EQs itself, I have 2 here, because I'm a big fan of using 2 EQs for 2 different tasks. One is for tone and one is for correction, and here with the tone, which is obviously the Pultec kind of EQ, which is from Wave City Pictec, and I just took out 16,000 Hertz here, just a little bit, around 2 from attenuation up, and that's everything I did here with that, just to get the high frequency a little bit down. And the other one has a little bit of preamp saturation. I dialed in some 12 kHz to get back a little bit of air, but not the really high one. And I added a little bit of 4.8K to around 2, let's say 2 in the mid frequencies. Though is pretty much the same, and I took out with a low cut filter here 80 Hertz, because violins usually don't have anything interesting down there. And that's pretty much the same on every other violin. I just used here and there a little bit more or less boosting. I think it was on that here. Yeah, little bit less, 4.8K here. That's basically, it's pretty much the same. And let's just listen on, for example, on that in solo. That's with the cue. Now turn it off. Back on. Get a little bit more presence with the second one. The third one is just to get a little bit more, if you can say it, warmer or warm tone. And the last thing here is a tape plugin. It's the J37 from Waves. I have used to just the Abbey Road default setting. Don't know if I added more saturation. It's barely moving, I think. Yeah, pretty low here. And I added just a little bit of saturation. And that's basically everything I did to the violins. Just listen to them once more, with and without the effects or the plugins. So that's without the EQ. with Okay, so that's it. I hope you could learn something from that and how to use a little bit of automation in instruments, especially on string instruments. And always remember, don't overcompress any instrument, just if you want a certain type of effect. And you can use automation on other sources like vocals. You can use it on every acoustic instruments like guitars or something like that. And well, just try it out and be creative. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and see you next time.